Miss Combos with Laura Newseth.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Miss Combos with Laura Newseth. Before I begin this video, if I do sound a little bit different, it's because right now things are honestly, they're almost like a nightmare in my area. And if you guys don't know, I do happen to live in Southern California. I am a first generation Mexican American, and seeing what is happening to our undocumented communities here in this area and Los Angeles, it's truly heartbreaking. For you guys, I am a content creator, but I am human. A human living in a border city her whole entire life. And seeing what has been happening in the news on my social media, it's truly heartbreaking and extremely concerning, and it's something that unfortunately I cannot shake it off and pretend that everything is fine for the sake of a Project Sekai video. It's been really tough to remain cheerful for my audience when in reality I've been doing a lot of crying. There's a lot of anxiety and anger. I know these videos are enjoyable to many people, but some of the people watching me do have undocumented parents. I've been seeing their messages expressing how scared they are at this moment, and seeing my own communities also just plead, ask for help. Anyone help us. It's something that you can't just simply ignore. I know I personally can't. I will get through this video the best I can, but if it's not the most detailed card reaction video, I do apologize. My heart is definitely with my community instead of here making a video reacting to some cards on a game. So I do apologize in advance. So the Nightcord World Link 2 event has begun. The event is titled Embraced by Transient Bubbles. Let's take a look at the event summary. Several days before the meeting with the Asahinas, Kanade and the others went to the Sekai together. Upon their arrival, they noticed a significant change to the small tree that's growing there. The tree ended up transporting them to a dream where they each live a different life than the ones they're in now. One of my hypotheses with this particular World Link event was that we were going to be presented an alternate universe where the members of Nightcord would be happy and just be regular teenage girls. And this is definitely what we're seeing in the card, starting with Kanade, who's at school, not confined in her room. She's in school wearing a uniform, and although her facial expression does look very bittersweet, she through and through just looks like a regular teenage high school girl, which is very different to her current life. Also, the fact that she's in a classroom speaking to a different girl, socializing, that's also quite different from her current life, where she primarily communicates through her computer and only to a selected few people. So now let's take a look at the trained artwork, which is, first of all, absolutely stunning, and all of the cards in this event are so stunning, so cohesive as well in theming. And I mean, the techniques used for this card artwork are beautiful. Here's a close-up of the card artwork where you can see some of the, I guess, bubble-like elements, because the image, especially her hair, looks transparent, but it also is emitting a lot of light and color. To me, I'm interpreting this translucence as a way to be vulnerable. There's nothing, she's not hiding anything essentially. And the rest of the card, the composition is absolutely stunning. You have the clock right behind Kanade, you have the Nightcord symbols all, going arched right above Kanade. Surrounding Kanade, you have a combination of musical instruments, notes, and also music sheet as well. I think one of my favorite things about this card artwork is the composition of it, because it kind of resembles a music box in a way, and Kanade literally spinning around all the things that are important to her. Also, I do apologize if I'm not identifying the flower in this image correctly, but to me the flower looks a lot like a poinsettia or a nochebuena in Spanish, and those flowers are typically associated with Christmas, but they also do represent good cheer and success. So in my head, Maybe this is Kanade wishing for the success not only for Nightcord, but also for herself. And speaking about Nightcord, Mafuyu's untrained artwork features Mafuyu and Kanade both taking music class and looking extremely normal as well. They're just two happy high school girls that get to practice music together. I know we should be happy seeing these two girls happy, but it's just such a bittersweet feeling because we don't know if maybe them meeting each other in this way would have led to have, founded Nightcord and making songs that resonate with people who are feeling helpless. So although they're happy, the music that they've created maybe wouldn't have reached the right audience. And here we have Mafuyu's trained card artwork, which again is absolutely stunning, and it's so prismatic as well, which is beautiful to see. Just like Kanade's card, there's this transparency about this card that almost kind of resembles a bubble, like we're looking through a bubble and seeing Mafuyu in the center of another music box. But unlike Kanade's card, you don't really see a lot of symbols that Mafuyu particularly enjoys. Instead, we see the plushie, which we have seen in several of her cards. We see the apple once again, and the flowers that are in her card are lilies. And we have seen lilies a lot with Nightcord specifically. These are flowers that symbolize love, purity, and rebirth. I think Mafuyu has a sense of purity that people don't acknowledge very often. It's almost like her childhood innocence and her curiosity were pretty much snatched away from her, and she was forced to be mature and be more adult-like and be more responsible when all she really wanted was to be a normal teenage girl. Someone who had big dreams, and those dreams were essentially squashed from her. Out of all the members of Nightcord, I closely relate to Mafuyu the most, which is why seeing this card saddens me, but I'm also rooting for her rebirth. I want her to be the Mafuyu that she wants to be, not the one that she's being forced to be. Moving on to the next card, here we have Enna's untrained card, where we see Enna basically crouching down and crying. And we do see that she has her artwork up on display on her tablet as well as her computer, and there's a message from Kanade. I unfortunately cannot read Japanese, so I did take a screenshot and put it on Google Translate image, and I was able to get this translation. It reads, "Thank you, Enna-nan, winning with Nightcord." So the way I could interpret this is that maybe Enna was a Nightcord fan at this point, and she was getting validation for the artwork that she entered in a contest. So these tears might just be one of a fan who's ecstatic that, first of all, she got noticed by someone that she looks up to, and second, she won this competition, essentially. But that would mean in this alternate universe that Enna is not part of Nightcord, and instead is a fan. Now let's take a look at Enna's trained artwork, which once again, absolutely beautiful. Enna's pose as well as her facial expression look very almost angelic in a way. There's just a level of softness that I personally really love. And I also really love seeing the things that are important to her. So for her, it would be art, and she's standing on top of the art. Like, it just looks like she is very proud of that aspect in her life, that she's an artist, that she's a creative. As for the flowers in her card, I noticed that they resemble a daisy flower, those that symbolize purity, innocence, and new beginnings. And this is also the same flower I spotted in Mizuki's card, which we will get to in just a second. And lastly, we have Mizuki's untrained card, where Mizuki is working at a boutique, very similar to the Project Sekai movie if you guys watched it. And yeah, Mizuki is just a regular girl working at a boutique. This version of Mizuki is one without any worries, that's free to express herself however she wants, which is very nice to see, but very sad that the reality is far from this image. Now let's take a look at the trained artwork, which once again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this card is beautiful, and I really love the way that the artist experimented with translucence and almost like a prismatic look to it. It's just very visually like captivating. But some of the things that really stand out to me in Mizuki's card particularly is the white string, especially in Buddhism. So the white string represents Buddhist sutras, sutra as in thread. And this is a constant reminder that according to Buddhist principles, treating every living thing with respect, kindness, and compassion, because this symbolism of the thread reminds us that we are all connected. So here, seeing Mizuki look fondly at this white string, for me, I'm interpreting it as Mizuki looking fondly at the idea that we're all connected, that Nightcord is connected. And just like I mentioned with Enna's card, the flowers in Mizuki's card also do resemble a daisy flower, with again the same meanings as with Enna's card, so purity, innocence, and new beginnings. And I feel like especially with Mizuki 5 and Enna's 5th focus event, we have entered a new era for both Mizuki and Enna, and the way that both of them are supporting one another through their adolescence. So to me, it's a very beautiful bond to see two people that accept one another and will support each other throughout life. And here we have all of the Nightcord World Link 2 cards, all of them looking extremely cohesive. And another thing that I noticed now that I have all 4 cards in the same screen is the fact that the time is very different for Mafuyu. Kanade, Enna, and Mizuki all appear to be in the same time. You can see the hand of the clock in a very similar position with all of their cards, except for Mafuyu where you can't really see that hand, which is very interesting for sure. So I think with that, I'm going to be ending this card reaction video. Please let me know how you're interpreting these cards in the comments below. And again, I do apologize for my lack of energy. Like I said earlier, my heart is not really present with this content right now. In the grand scale of things, my hobbies such as Project Sekai and manga just seem very insignificant. And I do apologize if I do take a step back and post a little bit less, because I want to use my time to actually help in my community any way I can. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to be kind to others, even those who are different from us. They may be different and may be a little hard to understand at times, but at the end of the day, we're all human and we want the same basic things in life. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.